my good friend Holly's Adventures, and welcome in to the next video in our NFL picks videos. This week we start the playoffs. NFL playoffs kick off officially on Saturday. We got 6 games on the lineup. We got some really good matchups this week. But a couple things before we get started, just because this video is not going to be very long, instead of talking about 16 games, we're only going to be talking about 6. Um, the NFL, usually last day of the season, goes through what they call Black Monday, which is when coaches start getting fired and whatnot. And
Did
there's
you
been a
see about
couple
the Seahawks?
I did, which surprised me immensely.
Yeah.
That was probably the only one that really stunned me. Um, we had three get fired mid-season, and then we had 4 get fired on Monday. So we'll talk about them real briefly. This whole shebang kickstarted with the Raiders. They fired Josh McDaniels, and they also fired their GM, I believe. Antonio Pearson's filled in as interim coach, which I think he's going to be the head coach going forward. I know a lot of the players on the Raiders have vouched for him and are lobbying for him, so I think that's going to be official here. Maybe not before the playoffs are over, but um, we'll see how that goes. The Panthers fired Frank Reich midseason. The Chargers fired Brandon Staley along with their GM after the Chargers got blown up 63 to whatever it was by the Raiders. That was just insane. Um, then we kicked off Black Monday with the Falcons firing Arthur Smith, the Commanders firing Ron Rivera, the Titans firing Mike Vrabel. The Seahawks and Pete Carroll amicably agreed to part ways. Pete Carroll is going to stay on as a some type of ambassador or something for the team, and he will not be on the sidelines coaching them next season. And then the big news that dropped earlier today, which a lot of people saw coming, the Patriots and Bill Belichick parting ways after 24 years. Going to be really awkward to see somebody else on the Patriots sideline next season. And I mean, you could say what you want about the guy, undoubtedly one of the greatest coaches in the modern era. You can look at his resume. It's a literal clinic. It's a who's who, if you will. The accomplishments that Bill Belichick did with New England. Granted, a lot of controversy, surrounding him as well. But you can't take away what he's done. But yeah, so we'll see how all that plans out. I don't think anybody get hired, like I said, until after the playoffs or whatnot. But
I do
that
know Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator for Dallas, is they're wanting him to. They requested an interview. The Patriots, or not the Patriots, the Panthers did.
Mm.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that transpires.
Yeah, I think Dan Quinn's going to be a hot commodity, and for good reason. He was a decent head coach. I mean, he's been defensive coordinator now for a few seasons, and like I said, I mean, he
But
does
he's
he's
made a
great.
but he's also made the comment too that he's not done with Dallas. So,
Well, especially if they win the Super Bowl. I mean,
oh yeah,
you'd hate to think that, if they win the Super Bowl, oh yeah, well I'm going to go take a head coaching job, for somebody else. But hey, come here. I know, Karis, but so if I have this right, there are 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and then we have the Monday nighter with Philly and Tampa Bay. Last week, is that right now? I did, yeah. Last week I went 9-7, going to 157 and 97 on the year. Holly bested me last week, went 10-6, bringing her to 139 and 99. As I said, not a whole lot to talk about this week. Like I said, the playoffs are starting, and boy, oh boy, how the tables turn. Because the first matchup we're going to be talking about is the 5th-seeded Cleveland Browns taking on the 4th-seeded Houston Texans, who defeated the Colts on Saturday and then watched the Jaguars implode and then won the division on Sunday without even playing a game. Which kudos. I don't know if that's more so kudos to Houston or what the hell to Jacksonville, because Jacksonville kind of fell apart in the last few weeks of the season. But, be that as it may, should be a really good game. I think both teams, these 2 teams played earlier in the year with Cleveland getting the better. That was a game C.J. Stroud did not play in. C.J. Stroud will be making his playoff debut this weekend. And I love the matchup. I think both teams have pretty decent offenses. I give the edge to Cleveland as far as defense goes. I think it's going to be a very, very tight knit game, but I think the inexperience of Houston's going to show up a little bit here. So with Joe Flacco at the helm, this would have been a much more intriguing matchup, if you will, had Deshaun Watson been in the game, being that he started his career with Houston. But he's on the shelf. So, and Joe Flacco he's had experience in these games. So, again, taking nothing away from Houston, but I just think the experience is going to be a deciding factor in this game. So I'm going to take the Browns on the road I don't know if it's an upset, I mean, or not, but I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns in a very close game on the road.
See, okay, so Cleveland technically should have won their game last week against the Bengals.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at that blowout though that they had. I mean, that was like ridiculous. I mean, plumb ridiculous.
Right.
But I'm gonna go like you said with could be an upset with Cleveland over Texas.
So we're taking Cleveland. All right. Nightcap on Saturday. We have the 6-seeded Miami Dolphins taking on the 3-seeded Kansas City Chiefs in a game. Tyreek Hill comes back home, if you will. Tyreek in the offseason to Miami. He's going to make his to play against. Initially looking at this game, I really thought Kansas City was really the underdog going into this game. However, looking at the injury report, Miami's going to be without 4 or 5 key defensive starters in this game. Hey, stop. And I think that Miami's going to try to keep this game close, but if these defensive starters for Miami would be in the game, I think it'd be a much different game. I don't think the Chiefs are the perennial favorite in the AFC, as some would like to think they are. But with the injuries to Miami and their defensive players, I think again close game. But with the injuries, I've got to side on this one a little bit toward Kansas City because as lopsided as Kansas City's been, it's hard to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, especially when they're at home. So that being said, I'm going to take Kansas City at home.
Kansas City, I mean, not taking anything away from them because they're a good team. However, Patrick Mahomes is not what he was last year. I mean, it's ridiculous as to what's going on. I don't know if he's got personal issues going on or what, but something's just like not there. And as much as I want to sit there and say, I want to go for Kansas City, I really don't think Patrick Mahomes. I mean, granted, I could be wrong. I mean, I really could be wrong. I don't think Patrick Mahomes has what it takes for uh, to come out with a win against Miami. So I'm going to be a split here. I'm going to go with Miami.
I like it. I like that. Like that a lot. All right, we move on to Sunday. We have the 7-seeded Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the 2-seeded Buffalo Bills. Credit to the Steelers; they got the job done on the road against Baltimore. We kind of touched on the fact Baltimore had nothing to play for last week. It wouldn't be a surprise if Pittsburgh won that game because Pittsburgh had a lot to play for. They were jockeying for a playoff spot. That's exactly what they got. They got the 7 seed. They're going to be traveling to Buffalo. I know we here in the Midwest we are bracing for a snowstorm. It's supposed to start sometime during the night tonight, and then last all the way through Saturday. They're projecting 6 to 10 inches. So can only imagine in Buffalo, come Sunday that what we're getting, over the next couple of days, they're going to be getting on Sunday. So it could be a snowy game. Not that really matters for Pittsburgh, but hats off to Pittsburgh. I mean, they really turned it on the second half of the season to get into the playoffs. But I think Buffalo's a really dangerous team right now. I think Buffalo's out to prove something. And really, with Buffalo being the 2 seed, if they run into Kansas City in the playoffs, they're going to be playing them in Buffalo, which is going to be a huge boost to them. It was but with this, I'm going to take Buffalo at home.
Yeah, I mean Buffalo, I think has what it takes to come out with a win in this wild card round. So I'm just gonna go with Buffalo on this one.
Yeah. And I noticed Holly just shared the link in our brand new Discord page. The FTCC now has a Discord page. All the credit in the world to Plumberry Delicious. Thank you so much. I got Holly's invite for it this morning, and I kind of looked. I was like, what is that? And I was like, she got a new Discord. And then when I realized it was one for our community, I was like, oh my god! I was like, that is really really cool. So for her to take the time to do that, come up, I noticed we have like the beginning of what looks like to be a logo now, which is really really cool. I love the name with all of our pictures on the banner or whatever. So hats off to Plum Mary Delicious. Thank you. It looks amazing. Job well done on that. Just like I said, it just looks really really sharp. Kind of cool that we have our own community Discord page now. So
I'm gonna real quick. Well, I like what I'm not great put as his description for all of us. It's hilarious.
yeah, if you haven't checked that out, check out his all of our descriptions that he has.
I say K
It,
Dot Kennel is playing much Final Fantasy as possible, but he has to leave for work in 30 minutes. So,
yep, that's about it too. I always try to get a part in before I go to work, but yo, mindless, how's it going, brother?
hey, mindless.
Welcome in. So, but yeah, kudos to Plumberry. Like I said, it's a really cool thing, and just as a courtesy, guys, anybody's welcome to join the FTCC. We accept new members every single day. Just make sure when you join the community, follow and subscribe to everybody in the community. We are a community that supports one another. We lift each other up. We don't tear each other down. Our community is something that we have literally built from the ground up, and it's something that I'm sure Holly will absolutely agree with this. We take a great deal of pride in our community and what we're building, and like I said, we'd love to have you on board. Like I said, just make sure you follow and subscribe to everybody, because like I said, we've got a close knit community. We work hard and all that good stuff. So join today because, like I said, we're always looking for new members. So,
Yeah,
all
we're
right,
gonna have to. We'll have to play around and figure out how we're gonna do it if we're going to like. Because I'm running out of room in my descriptions of all the community members. So I think we're going to have to figure out how we're going to each collaborate with that on how we're
yeah,
going to do our descriptions. And then when we get new members, are we going to like do a big shout out for them in the beginning and make sure we tag them in the beginning in our description and then take them off? How we're going to do that? Because obviously we can't add everybody into the description, but we'll have
right,
to figure it out as we go.
yeah, no doubt. Like I said, it's a work in progress, but like I said, I love. Like I said, I love what we're building, and like I said, it's going to continue to grow. So, when I started, I just listed people. I didn't give a description. I just with any video, I just try to give a brief description of what the video is about, and then there's a spot where my niece's business that she grew. I throw a link to her. There's another couple girls I work with that their business. I try to throw in there as well. Sounding much better. Well, I'm trying. I just found out I had bronchitis 2 days ago, and then I got sent home from work today because I discovered I had pink eye this morning. So I only work half a day today, and I have to take tomorrow off. So my antibiotic eye drops will kick in. So after tomorrow at 4 p.m., I will no longer be contagious. So good deal. But till then, I am stuck at home. But definitely trying. Like I said, I'm on the right track. So, but um, yeah, to get like I said, I do this video. Like I said, it wasn't going to be too long, but like I said, I wanted to at least get those shout outs and especially the community page. Like I said, I know Holly just shared that to the community page. So next up, we have what I think is going to be the game of this first round. I don't say that because it's Holly's team versus my team or anything like that, but I truly think this is going to be the matchup of the first round. Haven't had a coffee fit yet. Hang on. Ah. All right. So we have the 7 seeded Green Bay Packers taking on the number 2 seeded Dallas Cowboys in a game that, regardless of who you root for or who you think, this game could easily go either way. Green Bay, I have been pretty much sold all week. You don't really think the Packers have a snowball's chance in hell of beating Dallas, do you? I do, but am I picking Green Bay? No, I'm going to pick Dallas in this game. Dallas is 8-0 at home. That says something. The Cowboys have a potent offense. Dak Prescott, CD Lamb, the best quarterback wide receiver tandem in the NFC as we sit right now. Now, the Packers, the last 10 games against Dallas, the Packers are 9-1. Last couple of them being playoff games. My biggest thing with this game is I think Green Bay can keep up offensively. I just don't think Green Bay can keep up defensively.
No.
At the end of the day, I want Green Bay to win. If they do, I've seen so many people's brackets where they've got Green Bay winning and then going to face like Detroit. Let me explain something. If the Packers pull off an upset here, the only place Green Bay goes is to San Francisco to play the 49ers. Because the 49ers will play the lowest seed remaining after the wild card, in which if Green Bay wins, they're the lowest seed. So I don't know where everybody's getting Green Bay's going to go to Detroit or Green Bay's going to go to wherever. Green Bay's only going to go to San Francisco. So, but like I said, of course, I have to start my golfing on video. Give me 1 sec. There we go. God. This is why I haven't streamed as much the last couple of days, because I said the more I talk, the more I start coughing. But I'm committed to bringing content to you guys. Sick or not sick, the show will go on. But like I said, I take nothing away from Dallas. I think Green Bay, could they win this game? Absolutely. They would not be in this position if they couldn't. I think Green Bay is going to keep it close. I really, really do. But I just don't trust the defense. I'm taking Dallas at home. I think this is Dallas's best shot to win a Super Bowl is this year. So that being said, like I said, is it going to hurt if Green Bay loses? You bet your bottom dollar. But at the end of the day, win or lose, this season is a success for the Green Bay Packers. But my heart wants to take Green Bay, but I'm going to use my head on this one, and I'm going to take Dallas at home.
See, now, if it was a typical Dallas that was not doing worth shit this year, I would honestly and truthfully, as much it would kill me to take Dallas, I would take Green Bay because I know Dallas can choke. However, with them being at home, because they have a 16-0 streak at home, which means they have a better chance of winning at home. So it's going to be a really good game. That offense is fantastic. That defense is fantastic. Even the special team is fantastic. I think between head coach Mike McCarthy, I don't know who their offensive coach is, Dan Quinn, been spectacular this year. As much as I would say I would go for Green Bay. And again, like you said, I don't trust the defense. I really don't. But I'm going to go with Dallas only, not just because they're my team, but I think they have a better shot than Green Bay. So hey, Big Baby, how are you?
Hey, I just saw Big Baby. Hey, how's it going, brother? And yeah, keep in mind, like not that anybody would think this, but win or lose, it's not gonna change my perspective of Holly if the Cowboys win. I'm not gonna be like, oh well, she won't be doing picks with me next week because her team beat my team. Nothing like that. Like I said, just for Green Bay to even be in this position, no one would, even myself at the beginning of the season, there was no way. I even said at the beginning of the season, I'm like, Green Bay's gonna miss the playoffs this year. Rookie quarterback, which an interesting note on Jordan Love. First Packers rookie quarterback to guide them to the playoffs. Brett Favre never did it. Aaron Rodgers never did it. Jordan Love the first one to do it. But like I said,
now didn't I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think when Dak came into the fray 7 years ago, whatever it was, when he joined, when Tony Romo broke his collarbone, I think he got him at least to the playoffs. I don't think he got all the way, but I think He did.
Yeah, I think
I think
Dallas
that's
has not been to the. Actually, Dallas has not been to an NFC Championship game since.
1994, or somewhere along that line.
Yeah, it's either. See, the last one they won was 30. So that'd have been 95 or 96. So yeah, it's been a hot minute for Dallas. Like I said, I think this is their best shot to get there. It's just a matter of can they put
Can
it?
they?
Yeah, can they put and to be in a position at home? Like I said, we both just touched on Dallas is undefeated at home. That plays huge dividends right there to be at home. But like I said, win or lose, I as a Packers fan, I could not be more proud of that team. What they've accomplished, the youngest team in the league. Can they pull off what many would be consider a miracle? Maybe, but like I
Absolutely.
said, I just don't trust the defense. So we'll see how it all plays
Let's
out.
see. I like it's like I always say. This is a game you're supposed to have fun, and getting angry because your team loses is not a good sport. That's true.
Yeah, that's well said. Like I said, a lot of people, especially Packers fans, and that's one last thing I want to mention about every Green Bay Packer fan, whether they admit it or not, had doubts on Jordan Love. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is no doubt in my mind seeing the way Jordan Love, yes, he started the season a lot of rocky, a lot of up and down, but that kid showed nothing but composure, finished up the season, what was it, 7-3 or something along those lines, has thrown one interception in the last 10 games. Jordan Love is the future in Green Bay. And I think Packer fans need, number one, owe Jordan Love an apology for doubting him, for one. But like I said, win or lose, I couldn't be more proud of them for the just what they showed coming off the heels of trading Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. So, like I said, that's honestly game of the week for me. I think that's going to be the best game of the wild card. Um, Moving on to the final, or not the final, we got two more. We have the 6-seeded Rams taking on the three-seeded Detroit Lions. Boy, oh boy, I really kind of went back and forth on this one because my heart wants Detroit to win this. Detroit's one of those teams that they've never even been into a Super Bowl. The Rams have been playing very, very well the last few weeks, have really turned it around. This is the infamous um, Matt Stafford from LA, Jared Goff from Detroit playing their former teams. Matt Stafford, started his career in Detroit, got into the playoffs a couple times, just couldn't get over the hump. Matt Stafford goes to the Rams. He ends up winning the Super Bowl with them. Jared Goff has done a fantastic job helping turn Detroit around. This, for me, is literally a pick 'em because I can see this game going either way. I think I don't think it's really fair to say like all the higher seeds are going to win because everybody knows that's really not how it works. But I think if there's going to be an upset in the first round, this is the game that the upset's going to happen. I've got the Rams going over on the road. Close game, but I think the Rams have the experience where the Lions don't. Not saying the Lions aren't going to be right back in the thick of things next year, but like I said, if there's going to be an upset in the first round, this is where the upset's going to happen. I'm going to stick with it. I've got the Rams winning on the road.
Both teams have done phenomenal this year. The Rams, like you said, have made a comeback this season, and
Sure.
I think they have what it takes to win this wild card round. However, I think, in quite honesty, I really think Detroit is hungry for that win. They're hungry for that Super Bowl win. So I'm going to split, and I'm going to go with Detroit on this one.
I want Detroit to win. I really do because, like I said, they are. I don't want to say the underdogs, but I. Yeah, I definitely hope I'm wrong on this one because, like I said, I'd love to see Detroit win it. Closing out wild card weekend on Monday night, we have the 5-seeded Philadelphia Eagles taking on the 4-seeded Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, Philly What happened
Right.
six 6 weeks ago? Oh, the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. Well, not so much now. Now you choke away the division to Dallas. Kudos to Dallas. I'm not taking nothing away from Dallas, but Philly choked the division
Miserably.
badly, and now they're playing a tough Tampa Bay team. I think, but looking at despite the struggles for Philadelphia, I still think the Eagles are the better team here,
Hmm.
and I think the Eagles have got to right this ship, especially now because there is no tomorrow. The losers this weekend. There's no next week. Their season's
That's
over.
it.
The winners obviously move on in the playoffs, and that being said, like I said, the Eagles are kind of banged up. AJ Brown's banged up. Jalen Hurts is banged up. You know,
Did
if
you
if
see
the if
the see how his finger looked?
yeah, it looked pretty gnarly. Um, I've got Philly written down because, like I said, and then when I didn't see the injury report until after I made the list or whatever. But like I said, I don't change my picks on the fly or anything like that. What I write down is what I write down. And like I said, I think um, I just
All out of names.
you're that fun to take names. I'm all out of names. Fair enough. I like it. But yeah, I've got Philly written down, and like I said, I'm going to go with that. Nothing against Tampa Bay. I just think the Eagles need to win more, and frankly, I can't take the home team in every one of these games, so I got to kind of switch it up a little bit. But I don't see the Eagles getting very far. I really, really don't. Especially um, if the Lions win um, and Dallas wins, that puts the Eagles as the lowest seed. So that would mean the Eagles would go to San Francisco, and I honestly I see Philadelphia getting eviscerated by San Francisco. But I can see them getting by Tampa Bay, but I can't see them getting too much farther. I really don't. But like I said, I'm a man of my word. I wrote down Philly. I'm going to stick with them. I'm going to take the Phillies or the Phillies, the Eagles on the road. Phillies are in
So
baseball, but
right. So if last week was a wild card week, I think Philly would have done been out because I mean that was ridiculous. I mean when I looked at the score and see it was like 24-0 and it was the Giants winning, my jaw hit the floor.
yeah,
And I showed my roommate and his eyes got as big as saucers. He goes, "And who are Philly playing?" I'm like, "They're playing a nobody team.
a
Literally
team
a
that's out of it.
nobody team." So, you know, I think you're right. Philly does need that win. And for them to lose against Tampa Bay, who is not really the greatest team, they're not the worst team of all time, like the Panthers. Um, but I don't see them losing against Tampa Bay. However, we did say this last week against them with the Giants, and look what happened with that one. So
And they got clobbered.
anything, oh my God, and anything can happen. But I am going to go with Philadelphia on this one, just because I think they need the win, and I think they have overall a better team now. Will that team actually show up to play? Is another story.
Right. All right. And then, like I said, I wish it was a little bit deeper than that, guys. But like I said, playoff football, the weeks get shorter and shorter. It's one of my favorite times of the year, but it's also a hard time because then actually after the next couple weeks or next 4 weeks, we say bye bye to football until September, which kind of sucks. But
Yep.
recapping, we got the Browns over the Texans. We split on the Dolphins and Chiefs. I've got Kansas City. Holly has Miami. We have Buffalo over Pittsburgh, Dallas over Green Bay. We split on the Rams Lions. I'm taking the Rams in an upset. Holly's taking Detroit. I am rooting for Detroit in my heart, but taking the Rams just for an upset. And then we have the Eagles over the Buccaneers. Tasty cream rises, and there are so many good teams. It's going to be a good playoff series,
Mhm.
season. It really is. We got some really intriguing matchups in the wild card, and then depending on how these fall. Gonna have some interesting divisional round matchups, but we're gonna be back next week to discuss all of those. So I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching and putting up with my raspiness. But like I said, hopefully by next week I'll be on the mend over both bronchitis and pink eye. So, but as always, I do want to thank my very good friend Holly's Adventures for joining alongside me as she's done for so many weeks with this now. And we've talked about we're doing this again all season next year. No fans or buts. We're going to be doing this again because this has been a lot of fun.
No,
So,
he's going to stop doing picks with me if we win.
Dallas wins. She will not be back next week. No, I'm completely kidding. But no, regardless, she'll be back with me next week. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so very much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to both of our channels if you've not done so already. Join the FTCC today. You'll be glad you did. We've got an amazing community full of great content creators, great people, and
Leave
we're
that
always
negativity out the door. Just
right.
yeah, no negativity.
Yeah, we're all about positivity. I don't trust me. You can always focus on the bad. It's like a couple of people at work. We're talking about, oh, I don't feel good. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to hear it. I've been sick since Christmas, and yet I gut it out every day. Now I have a infection in my eye, which is contagious, which means I have to take a day off. But that's the
Well,
only thing. But
we could do that. I mean, that is possible. We both have Madden.
too,
We could. I like that.
I like that a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's my thing with Madden. I'm pretty awesome at offense. I can spend 7 minutes moving the ball, and then I get on the defense. I get on defense. 30 seconds. Hey, 80-yard touchdown. Well, son of a bitch.
So
So
okay. So my husband's like fantastic at Madden, and I'm going to give him use his username as his name, so we don't do other. Everybody knows who my name is because obviously Holly's Adventures, and you know his name because his name is your name in real life. But we're going to call him Red Wolf. That's what he likes to go by. But anywho, I kid you not, whoever he plays, it's always like 80 some odd to nothing or to 7 or 14. It's like, how do you manage to get high scores in a damn football game? It blows my mind. So,
yeah,
but I want to go. Let's see here. Just nothing negative, just love and support. Yeah, I want to
yeah,
touch on that real quick. I was talking with K Dog this morning, and there's a content creator that I'm still good friends with him, but I don't. As much as I want to support his channel, he likes to play the blame. I don't want to say play the blame card, but he likes to, oh, woe is me. It's my channel's not doing this. My channel's not. It's I get your channel's not doing good, but we're not really here, and I preach this almost all the time, and you know it. We're not here to make money. I mean, granted, that's a perk, but I like having fun, and this is fun. So
yeah,
if I can't have fun at what I'm doing, then I might as well not do it. So I love the guy to death. I like playing video games with him, but unfortunately, I cannot support a channel that's going to sit there and be negative like that all the time. Just can't do
yeah.
it.
And here, here's the thing. Everybody wants to be better. I want to be better. Holly wants to be better. Mindless wants, everybody wants to do better. Here's the thing. I have said this since I started making YouTube videos. If you put in the work, which is all you have to do,
The rest will
the
follow.
work, yeah, everything else falls into place. I wasn't discovered by Big Baby, um, because he sought me out per se. He caught a random video of mine, started watching, became a subscriber, and then became, one of my closest friends. And then that's how I met Holly through Big Baby. And now look at Holly and I. Holly and I collab every week on something. I mean, mostly football picks, but there's time. We've played Ninja Turtle games before. I
And now
love
it's going to be
mindless.
football games.
Yeah, I love that idea that of doing football. I mean, that's freaking awesome. I love that. But the thing is if you solely base as a content creator, if you solely base what you stream and your attitude about it towards how many subscribers you have, you're never going to get anywhere.
Mm-mm.
I don't look at my subs. I really don't. Don't get me wrong. I mean, every now and then I'm like, oh, hey, cool, I'm up to this. And that's great. But the bottom line is if you create the best content you can create and you're positive about it, the rest will come. I have over 1,800 videos on my channel.
I'm nowhere near that, but whatever. Mindless says he's still up for playing some chicken horse with us.
I know. I still need to look into that too.
It is so much fun. It really is. I love being able to sabotage people.
I'll have to look it up for sure. Actually, I might do it as soon as I'm done here, just that way I don't forget about it. But yeah, like I
Mindless
said,
did say it's a lot of fun.
yeah, I'll have to check it out for sure. But yeah, like I said, yeah, in the FTCC, we're all about positivity. So, like I said,
if you can't be
we're
positive, I mean, I hate to say it like this. If you can't be positive, then I mean, this isn't the place for you because we're all about positivity and support and love.
yep,
And being able
absolutely.
to die, obviously on camera here. So
So
you have
Christmas
more
Day, and
videos than me. Yeah.
everybody that know, and not once have I. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't say I don't complain. Hell, my wife, God love her, she listens to it, but she's the first one to tell you I'm never sick for more than a few days. This is the longest I've been sick. But you know what?
By
Despite,
golly, you're going to be making content anyways.
but yeah, there's times, yeah, like right now, it's like I've been freaking last like 15 minutes. I've been coughing. I hate it, but like I said, everybody knows. Hey, I've been sick, but you know what? I want people to look at me and be like, man, despite the fact he's under the weather, he's still willing, to put up content and entertain his audience because he's committed to what he does. There's a lot of people. Big Baby says it all the time. You're very passionate about what you do. That's not just with YouTube, guys. That's me in an everyday basis. So that's who I am. So, but I am going to get off here. Let my voice rest a little bit. I'm going to try to get another episode of Final Fantasy V up. We are approaching 30 days until the Tomb Raider anniversary collection drops down. That's going to be coming out for me because I pre-ordered it on February 13th. So, like I said, no matter what game I'm playing, when that drops, we're switching over to that. So, but as I'm trying to get Final Fantasy V finished up, I'm going to let my voice rest for a little bit, and then get an episode uploaded later on tonight. So again, thank you all so very much for watching. Make sure, as I said, you guys subscribe to all of us here in the FTCC. Give this video a thumbs up if you would. Glad you grabbed the song at the top. Yeah, actually, I got tipped off about that from a coworker, and I said, I was like, well, I said I'm not very far from it, so I was like, I'll just start my next video there and then grab it. So, but I don't even know where I'm going in the next part. I know unlock the first set of sealed weapons. So, but I have to look at my guide and just see what the next area is, and that's usually what I base my titles on. So, but in any event, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in our next videos, in our next respective videos, and we'll catch you guys back here next week for our divisional round picks of the 2023-24 NFL playoffs. Take care, love you all, and we'll catch you guys in our next videos.
Bye.